In case you missed the 1.17 update, there was a lot of buffs to go around when it came to SMGs. So in today's video, I'm actually going to be ranking all the SMGs from worst to best and giving you a best class setup for each, factoring all those changes from that 1.17 update. If at any point you do enjoy the video or find it helpful, please remember to hit that like button. And if you're brand new or you're one of the people that just keep coming back to my channel, make sure you are subscribed by hitting that subscribe button, turning it from red to gray. And if you'd like to actually receive notifications, make sure you have that little bell rung so you'll get the notifications when a new video goes live. So the ranking of the SMGs is specifically for public matches and against each other, not comparing to the rest of the weapons, because there are a few weapons out there that actually have a faster time to kill. And a few of those weapons are the Auger DMR, the VKM, and the Rampart, all with double high cal. So when it comes to ranking all these SMGs, there's different handling properties, the attachments you can equip, the specific time to kill for each of the weapons. We're going to consider all those different factors. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the time to kill. Right here is a chart I put together with all the different SMGs and their various time to kill at the various ranges. And working from slowest to fastest, that's from the top to the bottom. We're talking about the GKS, the Saug, the MX9 with rapid fire, the Spitfire, the Cordite with rapid, the Daemon with rapid, and the Switchblade with double rapid. And like I said, when it comes to time to kill, that is not the only determining factor. There's a lot of other things going on, so we'll go ahead and start from the bottom. And as you can see from the gameplay in the background, that is going to be the MX9. So in terms of best class setup for the MX9, I'm using hybrid mags, rapid fire, long barrel, stock, stim shot, gung ho, and then you could either use dead silence or scavenger. So in terms of buffs, the only thing that really changed with the MX9, they increased its 5-shot range from 7 meters to 7.5 meters, which is fairly negligible. And they slightly increased its 5-shot range damage, which sounds like it'll only affect you when you run up against enemies that are using body armor. And just because I started with this SMG doesn't necessarily make it the worst. I think there's just different tiers of weapons, and obviously in different scenarios, some are going to perform better than others. But against other SMGs, this one pretty much sits in that tier 3 category for me. And the next weapon in the tier 3 category for me is going to be the GKS. And the best class setup for the GKS is on screen now: reflex sight, quick draw, long barrel, extended mag, stim shot, scavenger, gung ho, and dead silence. And unfortunately, the GKS didn't get much in terms of buffs. It only increased its 5-shot range from 5 meters up to 7.5. And unfortunately, because it's very slow time to kill, it puts it on the lower end in terms of ranking against the other SMGs. And if we were actually comparing this weapon to other weapons in the game, it'd probably get a little bit higher rank as we get closer to those further distances, because its time to kill pretty much holds the same all the way through and is very accurate. It's probably one of the most accurate guns in the game, and that's without even equipping grip 1 and grip 2. And that's going to go ahead and bring us to the tier 2 category, and we're going to start off with the Saug 9mm. And right out the gate, the Saug only got a nerf to stock 2, which slightly reduced its movement speed or strafing speed while ADS. And since my Saug class setup doesn't even include double stock, you should be pretty good with quick draw, grip, stock 1, scavenger, gung ho, and dexterity. And I know a few people in the comment section will probably be very surprised that I put the Saug as a tier 2 SMG. So one of the biggest things that people will probably argue is that it's the #1 SMG in competitive, which is actually very true, but at the end of the day, we're talking about public matches, and in public matches, nothing is blocked. You can use every attachment, any attachment, however you want to use on any weapon in the game. And the big attachment that separates a lot of these SMGs from being okay to really good is rapid fire. Technically, this could be a tier 1 in terms of time to kill if you actually use the operator mod, went with dual Saugs, because the time to kill would be cut in half. But we're not really talking about that. We're talking about practical uses where you're able to take engagements at medium to short ranges. So please don't think I'm showing the Saug any kind of disrespect because I put it in the tier 2 category. Tier 2 is still pretty good, and the next couple SMGs I'm going to talk about are in that tier 2 category as well. And the main reason I did those tiers is because sometimes it's just a little too hard to rank side by side. You're like, would I choose that one or that one? It's kind of a little bit more on preference when it gets to those categories, but overall as a whole, this is the tier 2 category. And the next tier 2 SMG we'll go ahead and talk about is the Spitfire. And the Spitfire's best class setup is going to be hybrid mags, quick draw, stock, scavenger, dexterity, and gung ho. And overall, the Spitfire is actually a pretty good SMG, and it didn't really get anything in terms of a buff. It increased its 6-shot range from 7.5 meters to 8, which is again very negligible. And even though the Spitfire actually has some pretty reasonable range, it's actually kept in check by having a lot more recoil than a lot of the other weapons in the game. And that's without even having the Wildfire Operator mod. But if you decide to go that route, equip the Wildfire Operator mod, this thing has one of the fastest time to kills in the game, even faster than some of those other weapons that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. So if you have top tier recoil management and you know how to handle the wildfire operator mod, this could easily go into that tier 1 category. So let's go ahead and move on to the next SMG in the tier 2 category, and that is going to be the Cordite. And the best class setup for the Cordite is going to be Elo Sight, Rapid Fire, Extended Mags, FMJ with Scavenger, Gung Ho, Dead Silence, and obviously that Stim Shot. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of the Cordite. I know a lot of people like it and will swear by the Cordite being overpowered and all this type of stuff, but overall I think it's just an all-around good SMG because it has a fast time to kill, plus you can hold 90 rounds with the extended mags, and if you want to go the extra mile and use the operator mod, you can do 600 plus rounds. So maybe people just like the fact of the ammo part of it so they can actually get multiple feeds, especially when you're in hardcore, not having to reload, just spray and pray. That is actually a really good thing. Obviously, we're mainly talking about core here, so it really just depends when you change up the mode, if you're playing competitive or not, whatever the case is. But I think this is a really good SMG, but not overpowered in any way. And I know there's a few people that are watching the video that are really surprised by the list, but I'm telling you here, the facts are the facts. The tier 1 weapons are the best SMGs in the game. That doesn't mean they're my favorite or your favorite, but all around, these are the best SMGs in the game when you compare them to the other SMGs within the game. So that first tier 1 SMG we'll go ahead and talk about is the Daemon 3XB. So the best class setup for the Daemon 3XB is going to be the Reflex Sight, Hybrid Mags, Rapid Fire, High Cal 1, Stim Shot, Scavenger, Gung Ho, and Dead Silence. And this DLC SMG actually got a ton of buffs in terms of range. They created a 5-shot range out to 7.5 meters. They increased the 6-shot range from 11.5 up to 19 meters, increased the 7-shot range all the way from 19 meters up to 25 meters, and increase the 8-shot range from 25 meters up to 32 meters. So pretty much it's always going to be 2 bursts to kill up to 20-ish meters, and then once you get above that 20-ish meter mark, it's always going to be 3 bursts to kill. And for anyone that's actually used the Daemon after the update, it is pretty crazy. Within those 19 meters, it has a sustained time to kill of about 250 milliseconds. But its recoil is super manageable, so even once it gets beyond that 19 meter range, it's very easy to hit that 3rd burst. So I highly recommend you trying out the Daemon 3XB, especially after this buff. So let's go and talk about the final SMG we have left to talk about. Again, this is in the tier 1 category, and this is going to be the Switchblade. And the buff the Switchblade got was pretty extensive as well. They increased its 5-shot range from 2.5 meters up to 7.5 meters. They went ahead and upped the 6-shot range from 16.5 up to 19 meters, the 7-shot range from 19 up to 25, and the 8-shot from 24 meters up to 32. And I honestly think they'll probably nerf this weapon soon because that 5-shot kill range is just a little too much. I don't think I've ever had that many people yelling what after melting them with this weapon. So the best class setup for the Switchblade is going to be the Elo Sight, Rapid Fire 1 and 2 with Hybrid Mag, Stim Shot, Scavenger, Gung Ho, and Dead Silence. So I was going to go ahead and wrap up the video. If you did enjoy, remember to hit that like button. If you're brand new and made it to this point in the video, make sure you do subscribe. Comment down below if you agree or disagree. We'll see you all in the next one. Appreciate the support. Thank you for watching. As always, have a great day.